Going to move? Do you have any reason to believe it's not going to move substantively as to what it currently is?
No, we're cautiously optimistic that, as the speaker indicated yesterday to the media, that the bill will get through during lame duck into the governor's desk. We've worked on this tirelessly for months and over the summer when no one was around, and we've brought as many people to the table to make sure it's a good bill for everyone around. So we're cautiously optimistic it gets done here in the next couple of weeks.
How do you respond to their suggestion that the rules that are in the bill are weak and unenforceable?
Well, the only thing missing from a vast majority of this press conference were actual facts, and it's unfortunate that they didn't actually read the bill, because if you read it, for the first time ever, pet stores in Ohio will be licensed and regulated. Never before has that happened. They're going to have to be transparent 100% to every person that comes into a pet store, whether they purchase a puppy or not. You're going to get the family tree on that puppy, where it came from, the name of the breeder, the USDA license report, and if applicable, the Ohio Department of Agriculture report. So when you purchase a puppy from any pet store, Petland or otherwise, you're going to know the full history of that puppy, period. Look, at the end of the day, 2 million people come through our 20 pet stores in the state of Ohio every year. If we were doing an 8 of the things that they claim we were doing, we would have been out of business 20 years ago. It's just simply not true. This bill, it protects the industry as a whole. We have over 600 employees in Ohio that would lose their jobs if this bill doesn't get through, number one. And number two, it requires transparency and regulatory environment for pet stores that's never had it before. They should support that. They should want to have that here in Ohio.
What about the home rule thing? The whole home rule aspect and communities deciding for themselves they don't want this.
Unfortunately, what we've seen, and Uber has seen it in the past, and we have a law that Uber that got passed, but PETA and HSUS will come into these small cities and villages and townships and just bombard these city councilmen that work for $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 a year, and just pound on them and go to the local libraries and the Krogers and the Friday night football games and say this councilman supports puppy mills unless they put these pet stores out of business. So we're tied with two hands behind our back when we go to these local cities and try to explain who we really are and truly are. So without this, it's just going to happen one after another, and it's unfortunate because this building right behind you spends so much time and money every year to get a good environment to bring jobs to Ohio, but sometimes our local cities inadvertently or directly are hurting that opportunity.
Ordinarily, Republicans would say, let the local people control their own businesses, let them take a stand. On this issue, that's not the case. Tell me why. What's different about this?
Well, in this situation is we're unable to work with local city councils because of the harassment they're getting from the PETA types, Joe. At the end of the day, if we could have an open dialogue where we have witnesses and testimony and testify and see that indeed, our company, which has been around, we're celebrating our 50th anniversary. Our world headquarters are here in Ohio. If we were doing something that they claim we were doing, we'd have been gone. Capitalism would have put us out of business decades ago. But yet, unfortunately, the amount of harassment they give the local city councilman, they'll rip the Band-Aid off and say, just leave me alone, we'll pass this, sorry, Petland, you're out of business. Because keep in mind, in Grove City, guys, they granted us our special use permit. They gave us our operating license. We built our store, and right before the opening, they came back and said, sorry, we changed our mind, you're out of business. Can't do that. How are we supposed to operate in Ohio if that's allowed to stand? Can't do it.
Can you put a finger on why it is Petland that they're going after?
Well, we're the largest pet store that sells puppies in the United States, and we have stores in countries, 7 other countries. So we've got the biggest bullseye on our back. Otherwise, it wouldn't be us, but we're the biggest. It helps HSUS with their fundraising every year as well.
They make the point that Pet People and Petco and PetSmart, all those companies, they can sell their products just fine, make good business, and not sell these pedigree puppies that you get at Petland.
Yeah, and here's the big difference, Joe, with the gentleman who said that those stores that he mentioned, they might all be fine, I'm sure they are, but none of them sell puppies, so they sell dry goods. The largest seller of dry goods in the United States is Walmart. They have prices that no one can touch, no competitor can touch. When we build a pet store, we spend hundreds of thousands of more dollars than the average big box retailer. Why is that? Because we put the best HVAC system in, we put the best kennels in, we have health and safety standards. Because at our stores, unfortunately, what happened at the Franklin County shelter a couple months ago where they had to euthanize 100 dogs, that doesn't happen at Petland, not one. We sell our puppies, we find them good homes. So in order to ensure that the horrible tragedy that happened at the Franklin County Animal Shelter, which they say is so great, doesn't happen in our Petlands, we spend the extra money at Petco and PetSmart and Pet People. They don't have the infrastructure that we do. So if we had to change our business model, it would decimate our company, because our company is focused on selling pets. Products are secondary, pets are first.
What in particular about the ordinance in Grove City or in Toledo keeps Petland from being able to operate?
I'm sorry, I missed the question.
What in particular about the Grove City or the Toledo ordinances keep Petland from being able to operate? They say it just makes you buy dogs from reputable small breeders?
The customer that comes into Petland to buy a puppy wants a purebred puppy. If you go to the Franklin County Animal Shelter right now, guess what they don't have? Purebred puppies. Most 60-70% are pit bulls or pit bull mixes, 1, 2, 3, 4 years old. There's a market for that. If you want to buy from a shelter, God bless you, go do it, a rescue, anywhere else. But if you want to get a purebred puppy and you don't want to have to rely on the internet, which is the worst place to buy a puppy, or the want ads in the back of the Columbus Dispatch, because you don't have any checks and balances there. You come to a pet store because guess who we are currently regulated by? The Ohio Attorney General's office. If we do something wrong, the Attorney General's office comes after us, whether we sell a bag of dog food or a puppy. We have to do it according to Ohio law currently. And you get that retail experience. You can window shop. You're going to get a 1-year warranty. That's what the benefit of coming to a pet store is, because if you want to get a purebred puppy, a purebred 8-week-old lab, you're not going to the Franklin County Animal Shelter and you're not going to a rescue. Why? Because they don't have them there. So there are Ohioans, believe it or not, we've been in business for 50 years, that want a purebred puppy, and they want that retail experience and that peace of mind as a customer that if there are any issues or they want to bring their puppy or come back, we have a lifetime puppy warranty. After a year, let's say you get transferred to Manhattan, you can't have that husky anymore, bring it back, we take it and we rehome it for you for free. So we have that built into our current business model that's successful in Ohio and so many other states in the country.
Then why, if that's the case, then why are so many Petland puppies and puppy rescues and shelters?
Show me. I would respectfully challenge you on that.
Okay.
Because every single one of our puppies are microchipped. Okay, and we tell any customer, for whatever the reason is, if you cannot have this puppy, let's say the kids become allergic or you have a child and they're hypoallergenic, bring the puppy back. We will take it. If your puppy gets lost, it has the microchip. The local Humane Society agents will wave the wand over them and get them back to the owner, or they'll bring them back to the pet store because they'll have that information in there to make sure the puppy gets back to the home. So when you hear these stories that we have an over pet population because of Petland, it's a false narrative.
But when did that start, the rehoming thing? Because that hasn't been in place a long time.
We have microchipped our puppies for quite so many years. I think over a decade.
Can you check on that?
Sure.
Why are you opposed to implementing?
I'm sorry. Are you a member of the press?
Absolutely not.
Okay. Well, I'll talk to you then when I'm done here.
You can ask the press. I think they should know.
Well, I'm gonna let these guys do their jobs.
Pet
I'll let
Smart.
these guys do their jobs, and then I'll talk to you. Okay. Anything else? I know you guys are on deadlines and what have you.
I got it.
Okay.
Completely
All right.
avoiding your
Actually, I do have it.